Welcome back, my tribe Simply Legal. In today's video, we're going to tackle how or different ways on how to acquire land both as a national and as a foreigner. In this video, I'm going to be extremely brief but precise to the point, so let's go. Okay, my tribe, it's time to simplify the law on Simply Legal. Like we usually do it here, we simplify current events, legal topics, and different other aspects of the law. Last week I talked about the twin bombings in Uganda, which was so sad, and there are different aspects that are going to arise with time. However, today we're talking about how to acquire land, both as a national and as a foreigner. Spoiler, before I begin, I already did a video on how to acquire land as a Ugandan, so I'll leave the link in the description below, so you can go and check out that video. It gives you a detailed approach on how to acquire land as a national. Now, back to the real topic. Article 237 of the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda gives us or tells us about different land tenure systems that are in Uganda. Let's go through them in a quick way. We have Mailo land tenure system, we have freehold land tenure system, we have leasehold, and we have customary land tenure system. All of these land tenure systems give someone, whether you're a national or a foreigner, a brief guide on what kind of land tenure system you are going to buy or what kind of plot you're going to buy. For law students, you have seen, we of course know leasehold as having LRV, or ordinary Ugandans or foreigners who are watching this video. Once you have a plot of land which has LRV, that means it's a leasehold. Then if you have freehold, that's FRV. So I'm going to explain in brief detail what all of these land tenure systems are. So let's go to the part of a foreigner. Like I was saying earlier, Article 237 of the Constitution gives us the different land tenure systems, like I've just broken it down for you. Clause 2 still of Article 237 will also state that a foreigner can also acquire land in Uganda. However, it can only be done under a leasehold system. Like I said earlier, leasehold is among the types of the different land tenure systems I've talked about. Straight to another point. As a foreigner, you can only acquire land through a lease. But first of all, before I describe what a lease is, we need to also discuss who is a foreigner. A foreigner is talked about or is stipulated under Section 40, subsection 7 of the Land Act of Uganda. Many times when I'm calling people foreigners, I'm just basically saying a non-citizen of Uganda. How can a non-citizen acquire land in Uganda? Like I was saying earlier, a non-citizen is talked about under Section 40, subsection 7 of the Land Act, and also it's stipulated under Section 1, subsection C, still of the Land Act. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that a non-citizen is someone who is not a citizen of Uganda in accordance with the laws of Uganda. A non-citizen is someone who, number one, was not born in Uganda. You did not have any hereditary ties in Uganda. You are not adopted in Uganda, because those are different categories of citizenship in Uganda. By the way, very soon I will be doing a video on citizenship in Uganda to appeal to people in the diaspora, Ugandans abroad, or non-citizens or foreigners who want to become citizens in Uganda. So, straight to the point. Now that I've described who a non-citizen is, I hope you can now understand that Ugandans are the only ones who can acquire land in Uganda with the other methods, like I spoke about in my earlier video on how to buy land in Uganda. This video mainly tackles a non-citizen or a foreigner. So therefore, let's go to how a citizen can acquire a leasehold title. First of all, we need to understand what is a lease. A lease is a document, or a lease is a different period of time, or a period under which a non-citizen or even a Ugandan can acquire a lease. A non-citizen or a citizen of Uganda can rent a certain piece of land or be in possession of a certain piece of land for a specific period of time. Most cases, leases take place for about 49 to 99 years. I've not given you the exact definition because I want you to first understand. As Simply Legal likes to simplify the law, a lease is a period of time agreed to by the lessee and the lessor. In other words, the owner of the land who is leasing the land. I'm giving you the land. I, Terry Kahuma, I'm giving Moses a piece of land, and Moses is going to possess this land for a period of 49 years or 99 years, because the whole lease issue came about since the early days of common law back in Great Britain, because we're the ones colonized by them. So a lease is basically you owning a piece of land. You're not owning it, you're paying a certain fee to be in possession of that land, 49 years or 99 years. Therefore, what are the steps under which a foreigner can acquire a leasehold title? Like I've just explained earlier, a foreigner and a non-citizen cannot acquire land like the traditional way a Ugandan will. However, they can only acquire land through a leasehold, either 49 years or 99 years. I've already explained what a lease is in accordance with the laws of Uganda. Therefore, let's go to the steps under which a non-citizen can acquire land in Uganda. Number 1, you need to carry out what's called due diligence on the land. I'm putting myself in the place of a foreigner. If I was a foreigner from Kenya and I wanted to invest in Uganda, you cannot just come to Uganda and then buy land just like that. You need to carry what's called due diligence. If you're coming to Terry Kahuma's land, who is a national in Uganda, then you're going to have to carry out due diligence. But what is due diligence? I keep mentioning this all the time. You're just going to the land and ascertaining whether this land that you're interested in, let's say you want to do farming in Masaka, Uganda, you want to do florist farming. You're going to go to the land in Masaka. You're going to ascertain, does this land exist? Is it the one that exists on the website? You're going to want to ascertain that does this land have any encumbrances? Now in law we have what's called encumbrances. Every land title has what's called an encumbrance page. An encumbrance is basically something stopping you from owning or buying that land. Either it's a land title, meaning that there is already an existing owner of that land, or there is a caveat. I did a video earlier on in caveats, so you have to also check it out among my videos. Basically, a caveat is a document which is stopping any dealing in a land pending a bigger issue that is already in existence in that land, meaning there is a dispute in that land. So you're going to do due diligence. You're going to go and ascertain whether the land is the real one, whether the land is the real one you saw in the pictures, whether it has an owner, whether it has a land title, whatever it is. You're going to have to come down to Uganda and find out what it is. Once you've found out that there is an owner in the land, or that land already has an owner, you're going to have to find out who is the owner of this land. So you can find out who the LC1 chairman is. We have local councils here in Uganda. So you're going to have to find out who the local council is, or find out from the neighbors of the land who is the owner. Once you find out who the owner is, go and talk to this owner. Find out, is he ready to lease his land? Because in leasing, the owner still remains the owner, but you're going to be in possession of it for 49 or 99 years. That is what most of these big companies did. Meta Group of companies, Madivani, most of them have done what's called leasing of the land. Therefore, the moment you've found out who the owner is, you're going to want to find out what his name is his national ID valid, because you need to know who you're dealing with. You also want to ascertain the land title, or in law we have what's called, we call it the certificate of title. So you have to first ascertain whether the certificate of title is a valid one. You need to know, does it have an encumbrance page? Does it have a white page? Does it have a blue page? Yes, once you've found out that it's already a valid one, you can ask for a copy, still of the person who you're going to lease from. After ascertaining all of those, then one of the major steps is that you're going to have to come and do what's called locus. Now in law we have what's called locus. Locus is basically, in plain and simple terms, going to the scene of the crime, maybe in, let's say, a criminal case. But now in this case that we're talking about land, locus is actually visiting the land site, or the said land that you're going to visit. So as a foreigner, or even as a Ugandan, whenever you are interested in leasing land, whether you are a foreigner or a Ugandan, a non-citizen, whoever you are, you need to do what's called locus. You need to come down to the land, ascertain whether indeed the land is the same one. This actually takes us back to our first step. You need to ascertain whether the land is the real one. When you're there, you also need to bring a surveyor. Now, under Section 2 of the Surveyors Act, of Uganda. A surveyor is supposed to come and also demarcate those boundaries. I want us to go back to our example of the land in Masaka. If you're a foreigner from Nigeria or Kenya, you're going to want to ascertain whether the decimals that you saw in the land or that you saw on the website as concerns the land are the real decimals that correlate with the land title, correlate to the website, and even you yourself. So you need to get a surveyor under Section 2 of the Surveyors Act of Uganda. You need to ascertain these boundaries of the land. And then we go to our final step. You need to also ascertain whether this land is built on a wetland. Now, this takes us back to the video that I did months ago on how to buy land in Uganda. You cannot build on a wetland. We have different acts in Uganda which provide for where you're supposed to put your land. We have the National Forest Authority Act, we have the Environment Act, we have a number of acts which encompass how you're supposed to govern your land in terms of the environment in Uganda. We cannot build on a wetland because we are trying to preserve all of our wetlands. We are trying to preserve the integrity of land in Uganda. So therefore, you need to ascertain whether indeed the land that you're leasing is either on a farmland or it's on a wetland, because like I said, we have a lot of global warming, and much as Uganda's environment and as a country, as Africa as a continent, we are not so much affected by global warming. We need to preserve for future generations. That is why your lease or the land that you're leasing must be in line with the National Forest Act. It must be in line with all the environment acts in Uganda, or all of the relevant laws which coincide with the environment in Uganda. So therefore you cannot build or lease land that is on a wetland. So those are just quick steps on how you can lease land either as a foreigner or as a Ugandan. Before I finish the video, I like to just explain the different land tenure systems. Like I said, we have leasehold. That one I've already explained it. We have Mailo land system. In Uganda, land can be owned either in perpetuity or as a group. This means that most of the land that we have in Uganda is Mailo land. Most of the blocks that you're seeing, whenever you see in your land title, you have block this and this and this in this area, like let's say in Nansana, then that is Mailo land. Mailo land is basically private land that we have in Uganda. This was demarcated by the colonialists. In Buganda especially, we had all of it was Kawaka's land, but now they divided it into different things. So I've explained to you leasehold land, I've explained to you Mailo land tenure system, leasehold tenure system. Then we have freehold system. Freehold kind of system is, it doesn't have any land title, crown that is given to it. Freehold is basically land that is free, already in existence. That's why they call it freehold. So basically, like I was telling you, freehold is a type of land tenure system which has no restrictions, no limits. It's an infinite kind of free of land tenure system. Maybe the words I'm using are confusing you. However, it's free in nature, like you can hear, free. It doesn't hold any restrictions. There are no land titles accorded to it. It's just free land. Most cases it's used by government or yes. Then finally we have a customary kind of system. Customary land system is it's normally done in terms of clan heads or tribal kind of land, like the land that you see that's owned by Buganda government or by the elders of the tribe. The one you see owned by Toro Kingdom, Bunyoro Kingdom, like you hear customary, it's owned by clan heads, the king, the elders, the princes. That's basically customary land tenure system. So the purpose of this video was to talk to you about how to acquire land as a Ugandan and as a foreigner. As a Ugandan, I already did a video on it. It's quite lengthy, so you have to go and look at it and learn how to acquire land as a Ugandan. As a foreigner, you can only acquire land under leasehold system, like I said, under Section 40 of the Land Amendment Act of Uganda, and also Article 237 still of the Constitution. That's in relation to Clause 2. So yes, that is basically what I had for you today. It had been a while since I had talked to you guys. I hope you like all the different series on Simply Legal, nowadays we have the legal principles simplified, like this one. We have the legal skits and many others. There is a very big project that I'm working on at the end of the year. I'm not going to spoil it, but it's also related to Simply Legal. Please stay tuned, and for those who are new to my channel, feel free to hit the subscribe button. Feel free to hit the comment section. Please subscribe, just keep smashing the subscribe button, and please like the videos, because the more you like the videos, the more YouTube recommends them. I love you guys so much, and if there's anything you want me to do in a future video, I'm doing a Q&A very soon. I know I've taken long without doing them. Please send me all of your video suggestions on what I should do on the Q&A video. Please, my social media handles I remain Terry Kahuma on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. For those of my WhatsApp number, you can also always ask for it on this video or in the comment section. And I'll see you next time. Bye.